Well, fill it with gas, fill it with oil, check the water, we're ready to roll. It's got no buzzes, no flashing lights, just let you know when the field's alright. One side looks like an old tin can and the hotel down with rubber bands. We tell it our problems and it understands as we roll along the highway, as we roll along the highway. They can't sell their Oldsmobiles, they can't sell their Fords. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Just a quick little update. I'm going to try and do something a little more upbeat. It seems I'm always talking about down stuff, and that's not the intention here. You know, I do have my health issues, and but you know what? My dad always told me, you know, if I'm looking for sympathy, I'll find it in the dictionary. It's between shit and syphilis. So I'm not looking for sympathy. I know where it is. Just sharing a bit of my life with everyone else out there. And there I go, looking away from the camera again. Anyway, we just finished rebuilding our utility trailer. It's about 35 years old, and it was made by a guy that teaches welding at the local federal penitentiary. My mom and dad bought it years ago when they had a cabin to go to, and I've done all the maintenance repairs on it ever since. But this last overhaul, I had my youngest son, Kyle. He was doing some welding on some cracks that had appeared over the years. But here's a quick look at the trailer, and I'll actually show you some of the other goodies that I got lying around to work on here. There's the trailer there. It's we put the new lights on. It had a couple of smaller lights on it, 2 on each side, but they kept getting knocked off, where the lenses kept breaking because they were plastic lights. So went with these ones with the steel enclosures that I bought at the local store, our toy store, as I call it. I guess it would be much like that Fleet and Farm type store in the States, but we call it, the store up here is called Princess Auto, and it's been around for, I don't know, 80 years or something, forever. Anyway, as you can see, it's all sides are all galvanized, decent rubber on it. And what I actually used, I rewired the trailer and everything, and we actually used PEX pipe from the house plumbing, and it goes all the way down under the trailer. I'll see if I can show it without climbing underneath there, but I think you can see it there, and it goes up and meets in the middle where it goes into the tongue, and then from there it obviously comes out inside the tongue and then pops out here. And you know, just a little added, I ran a length of electrical on it. Good old ammo box here, you know, 1967, and I've had this around for years. I used to use it for chains. We used to have a spare tire carrier on here, but you know, we've since stopped taking the spare tire. We haven't had a flat on this trailer in all the years, but yet we've carried a spare. So figure we could always leave it on the side of the road and go get a tire fixed if we ever had to. Anyway, I just threw this on there, and it's bolted on good and solid, and it carries, you know, my tie downs, some gloves, bungee cords. Underneath here, I've got one of those cargo nets, and then underneath there I have a small broom head with a sectional handle. So we tend to forget to take a broom with us when we go to the dump. Anyway, corners, both sides were cracked. My son welded those up, and then the welds where the sides met the frame. I'm not going to bother digging that out, but he welded those up. They were cracked along both sides, and then through years of flexing, this had cracked as well, and I think he did a pretty good job. I kind of turned him loose and let him learn a little bit. One thing we did add to the trailer, it never had it, was we added tie downs to the bottom here. Now that my dad's gone, it's my trailer now. I've done all the repairs for him over the years, and this is only the second sheet of plywood. The first sheet we had in there, used it for several years, and then once it got all stained and chewed up, we just flipped it over. And so not too bad for a 35-year-old trailer. These swing out hooks I'd put on probably 20 years ago, back when my welding skills were good because my hands were steady. These are the hooks that were originally on the trailer, and they worked well, but sometimes the ropes would slide off. I would have put this on and angled it downward so it was kind of V'd in a downward direction. Still worked really well though. And also in here, had some welding to do there, my son did. PEX pipe again on this side, and we sealed the top of the PEX pipe with stuff called duct seal. And my dad's always liked to keep his trailers nice, so yeah, they have wheel discs on them. And the lights work well. We put 3 more hooks across the back. The inside dimensions of the trailer are actually 4'1" wide, 4'1" wide by 8'1" long, so we can fit plywood, we can fit drywall all within the sides of the trailer. So what I'll usually do if I'm going to haul something like that is I'll lay a tarp down on the bottom and put the wood and everything in, then I can fold the tarp back up and over, and keeps everything nice and clean and relatively dry if I'm driving in the rain. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with some of the toys I have. In the earliest episodes, you saw the motorhome. It's my 1985 Frontier motorhome. It's on a Nissan chassis, and I always had kind of a thing for Nissans and Datsuns. But anyway, one of the things we've added to it so far, we haven't really done anything except camped in it a couple of nights. We're looking forward to next year. One of the things we did add, and I did it right away, was a license plate that was on my father-in-law and mother-in-law's slide-in camper for years, and they're no longer with us, so I thought it was more appropriate to put it on our camper instead of just letting it sit in my garage with my license plate collection. So here's what that license plate's all about. There you go, Grandpa and Grandma's playhouse. And just walk along the driveway here, and see in the background, see if I can do it right, the motorhome. It's a nice little toy. Like I say, we're looking forward to using it next year. Immaculate shape, 95,000 kilometers on it, so that's 55,000 miles. Here's the family daily driver. 02 Grand Caravan Sport was my dad's. And you know, I'm going to start having to fix a couple things. There's a parking lot ding there. There's a scrape that I'm going to take, and it's got a slight dent in it. You can see right there. I guess it's likely got some reinforcing behind there. And then a little bit of rust in that I'll have to take care of. And stuff like this, one of the things I haven't had a chance to do much of is use my paintless dent repair tools. I've done a couple with it, but I want to do stuff on my own vehicles. You know, and the usual little parking lot dings and dents. We're the fourth house on this side of the street, and that's the kindergarten to grade 8 school, and that's where my wife works. So it's nice and close. 1 minute walk. Can't have much of a shorter commute than that. One of my second cars that I drive, I have to do some work on her, is Daisy, and that's my 72 510. I'm going to try and get it where the sun doesn't clear off everything. You know, and it's another low miler. It's got 85,000 kilometers on it. I know these things were mileage. The mileage was in miles, but this thing actually has the dealer installed metric conversion on the speedometer cable, so it reads in kilometers. And the lady I bought it from had passed away, and it was her car from, I think, 1980 until I bought it about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's starting to show its age again. She'd had it repainted 2 or 3 times over the time that she owned it. And this one was done in about 1985 or 1995. So this is you know, a 15-year-old paint job. And you can see there's little bits here and there that are just starting to pop out. Oh, zoom out. It's a little easier to walk up to the car. But you can see here that you know, it's the putty is separating. It cracked a little bit. And I think what it is there was just a little too much paint here over the years, and so the paint's cracked and let moisture in, and then down here it's bubbling, so I'm going to have to likely cut that whole section out and redo that. But I've already done the floors on it. And so I name my cars, and my toy cars anyway. And this one's Daisy. And partially, you know, a little another spot on this door here that I'll have to take care of. And, you know, fiberglass fenders, which are nice, but I'd rather have the original steel on there. You know, found this thing at a garage sale and picked it up for 50 cents. And so I got them stuck there. And yeah, he does have batteries in it, and he does do that stupid noise that he does. But something else my wife put in here because of the name of the car. She found these things at the dollar store as well and bought them. And it's kind of funny, people always laugh when they see them in the back window. They're solar powered, so I don't have to put batteries in them. They just sit there and dancing flowers. Now this one is working better. The other one's kind of jammed up, so I don't know if you can see that one. It's the stem. That's the way the other one's supposed to do it too, but for some reason the stem is a little bit tight and it doesn't work. What you can see here is metal framework I'm putting up. It's 10 feet to the peak, 20 feet wide, and all the years that I've had my own garage, 26 years or so, I think there's only 2 winters that I've been able to park inside. And up here in Manitoba in Canada, we get snow, you know, a couple of feet a year, 3, 4, 5 feet. This framework I got for nothing, and actually it's from a greenhouse, and no instructions came along and no covering, but I figure I can just buy a great big tarp and throw it over it for the winter. we'll be able to park 2 cars in here. 7-foot height. And I actually got enough of this stuff. Right now it's front to back, it's 20 feet. And I have enough to put another 14 feet on the end of this. So, you know, it'd be 35 feet long or so. And I have 2 of them. You know, I've only got 1 and a bit home, but you know, it's going to be, you know, it's a little bigger than I thought it was, but not by much. I was hoping to be able to park the motorhome beside this on the driveway, but it's just not enough room if I put this over to one side. So I decided to line it up with the edge of the garage anyway. In the garage, I'm still cleaning. It's one of the projects. This is Missy, and hope to get to putting the KA motor into this one. It's a 1966 Datsun Fair Lady Roadster. This year I'm going to show you what I got in the backyard. Oh. Big one's crew. Little one is Bo. And have a miniature American Eskimo in the house. Her name is Belle. Anyway, this is a car I rescued, parts car that needs a floor, but other than that, it's a 72 like Daisy. This is Bender because she's all bent up, and this one's a 1967 Datsun Fair Lady Roadster. Then I have the donor car here for the motor, KA24E in it, and that's a 1992 Nissan 240SX that I'll hopefully be able to strip down and get parts out of it. Some people you know, we're in a small town, but I'm right in town, and some people have trouble with their neighbors. But yeah, I noticed, I showed you my neighbor on the south side with his you know, his big boat and everything, and so you can tell I don't have much trouble with him because he's a car guy. I'm going to show you my neighbor's garage. You know, except it just keeps going and going and going. And to tell you, give you an indication how big it is, there's the 240, and his garage is 25 by 48, I think it is. And he's got some interesting toys too that I'll talk about in a future episode maybe. Apparently it's cold out. You know, my wife works lunch duty for an hour outside, and she had her winter coat on today. And I'm going to show you why people are dressed like that. I like the cold, by the way. I'm just going to go quickly to the website for Winnipeg, which is the biggest city. We're about 15 kilometers out of town. And there we go. 8 degrees. Oh, tomorrow it's going to be up to 12. That's going to be beautiful. Might be able to wear shorts tomorrow. Anyway, just a little look at some of the stuff I got going on, and I'm also working on a shorter intro. The other one is kind of figuring out how to make an intro. It turned out good, you know, but it's about a minute long, and I'd like to get one that's maybe 15-20 seconds. Only thing is, I made that one that long because that's pretty well the length of the song. So, anyway, catch you later, and hope everyone's good.
Tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.